Hey guys, and welcome back to Community Mod. In this series of videos, we do a social experiment where the community votes, I mod, and we see what we can come up with together. I'm confident when the community works together, we can come up with something truly awesome. The best part is when the mod is complete, the controller will be given away to one lucky subscriber, so make sure you're subscribed. Finally, make sure your voice is heard by voting in the comments section below, because each time you vote, that gives you one opportunity to win the controller. If you missed any of the previous entries in the series, make sure you check out the cards in the upper right hand corner of the screen. So to recap, in part 1 of the video, we discussed the idea of the community mod, refurbished the controller, and introduced 3 other modders who plan to make this the best community mod to date. We also voted on what color sticks and buttons we should use in the controller, and gold absolutely dominated. In part 2 of the series, PingPong casted some awesome gold sticks and buttons, and we installed a new set of LED rings into the thumbstick and to the C-stick. In that video, I asked you guys to vote on what color paracord we should sleeve the controller with, and Chameleon barely edged out the competition. In part 3 of the series, we did a paracord mod and installed some other awesome mods that were designed by Fires. In that video, I asked you guys to tell me who your favorite Legend of Zelda character was from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And the winner was... I guess it was Young Link's day, as he just dominated. And with that last little bit of information, we are finally ready to finish up this build. So first thing up is we're going to do some casting. Those who've been watching for this from the start are probably asking yourself, what
the hell are you doing?
And for the most part, I don't blame you for asking that question. But the reality of the situation is this: I'm not finished yet. When I got 3 other people involved, the goal was to take this controller as far as it can go and show you guys something new and different. So with all that out of the way, I got dibs on shoulder buttons. PingPong, you take the shell. While we work on this, King Curb's going to be busy doing some code magic to really put a bow on this thing. Now I know it seems crazy to have a controller with 2 controller backs, but hey, at least whomever takes this thing home has some options. But I think it's time for a bit of montage mode as we get some molding and casting done. So with the molds for the shoulder buttons out of the way, the goal is to match the green at the face of the controller as best as I possibly could. Now, let's be clear, it's not going to be possible to match it exactly, but I want it to be as close as possible. I think I did a pretty good job of accomplishing that, but you guys will have to let me know how I did in the comments below. As for the shell, man, PingPong knocked another one out of the park, and this thing's an absolute banger. But I'll tell you what, it's a good thing gold absolutely dominated earlier in the voting, because this controller is officially draped from buttons to rear shell in gold. Now, one of the added features of this rear gold shell is that you can still shine some light through it, which means it's time for a Shine Wave mod. If you're not familiar with what the Shine Wave mod is, it's a reactive LED mod that reacts to the buttons as you press them. The PCBs I'm using for this were made by PCBWay, who's also kind enough to sponsor this video. My favorite part of these PCBs is the sweet black solder mask. They look outstanding. Not only does PCBWay do great work, but through their prototyping service, you can get 10 boards for $5 plus the cost of shipping. Thanks again to PCBWay for making these awesome boards and sponsoring this video. As far as getting the Shine Wave installed, it's a fairly easy process, but if you're interested in a more detailed installation guide, make sure you check out the card in the upper right hand corner. As for how the LEDs are going to react, well, our guy King Curb cooked up something very cool. But to better understand the mod, I think we're going to have to do a little bit of a review. and we're going to review Young Link's moveset in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So now that I've got my practice round open, let's talk Young Link's neutral game. Neutral A is a sword jab, and when pressed quickly, Young Link will jab his sword quickly. Considering the color of the blade and the nature of the move, when neutral A is pressed, the LEDs will react and be white. When X and Y are pressed, which jump, the LEDs will react and flash green to match Young Link's tunic. Okay, we're getting to my favorite part here. Next is neutral B. Now, neutral B is Young Link's fire arrow. And the cool part about this is you can charge the move by holding B. And of course, when you get hit with it, it does more damage. Now, the LEDs kind of do the exact same thing, and they simulate fire as you're holding the button down. In other words, pressing B will randomly flash yellow, orange, and red. And even cooler, the longer you hold B, the animation will continue to last as long as you hold it. Now, I'd be lying if I didn't say this is pretty amazing, and I know King Curb spent a lot of time to get this animation right. Shield is next, and R and L have specific shield colors associated to them, which reflect the colors you might see in the game, which is a pinky red and a light blue. After shield comes grab, or Z, which is Young Link's hookshot, which flashes white. So let's talk about some special moves. Next is side B, which sends Young Link's boomerang flying. The boomerang has an orange and yellow look to it, so the LEDs animate in a similar fashion. Finally, the last animation is down smash, or down A. Young Link's down smash engages and lights up the Master Sword. So to emulate this, when pressing down A, the LEDs will cycle between white and blue. At this point, you gotta be saying, Mother of God. But in case you're thinking to yourself, yeah, but Rocker, I don't like Young Link anyway. No worries, because King Curb and I, we got your back. By pressing start and left at the same time, you'll flip into classic mode. This makes the reactions mirror the original GameCube buttons. So in other words, A is green, B is red, X and Y are white, Z is purple, and the shoulder buttons maintain their light blue and light pink. Still not good enough yet? Did I mention there's separate modes for Switch and GameCube so the animations work great on both? Yeah, let's have a look with Melee loaded up. So it sounds a bit crazy, but both the Switch and the GameCube use different polling rates on the GameCube controller. This results in different timing needed for the animations. It becomes very apparent here as I'm showing this is using the Switch polling rate, and you can see how delayed and how slow these animations are. And King Curb and I decided, hey, we gotta make this right. So you press start and right on the controller at the same time, you flip it into GameCube mode. And basically what this does is it syncs up the polling to make the animations animate at the proper speed, so everything looks exactly as it's supposed to. Similar to what I showed before, you'll have all the standard Young Link animations on here, as well as the classic mode, to use the classic colors, just like I showed before. This new Shinewave code is pretty sick. So in honor of the community mod, I posted a limited number of pre-flashed Shinewave units on my Etsy store. Feel free to head over there and check it out. So let's talk about the giveaway for this awesome modded controller. In order to get some entries into the giveaway, the first thing you can do is leave a comment on this video. Next, if you want some additional entries, make sure you check out the Gleam link in the description to the video below, and we'll choose a winner in 2 weeks' time. Well, I know I'm super impressed with how this controller turned out, and without a doubt, it's one of the coolest controllers I've ever had the pleasure of working on. As I always say in the intro, I'm confident when the community works together, we can come up with something truly awesome. In this case, we absolutely have. This controller was made possible by everyone who viewed, subscribed, and voted in the comments. Thank you all so much. I also wanted to give a big thank you to Pucho Magic, PingPong, and King Curb. You guys took a great controller and really turned it into an epic one. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys for the next video here soon.